organization here in Palestine that they had a relationship with people from the Basque country. And I was invited to go to Zestoako by them. And I spent 10 days there, actually. Zestoako and other places, and met the people. The same group, I think. You're from the same group.
Yeah.
But I don't know, the name keeps changing because
the bannings.
Yeah. So I don't know what your name is.
No.
We neither.
So we're in the same boat.
Yeah.
So I can feel free by saying I don't know.
Yeah, we know.
And that's how we got started. The relationship between Palestinian groups, and I was introduced to the idea, and I've always wanted to establish links between Bir Zeiteko and the outside world. And this was one of the most important ones because of the similarities between our two peoples. Because what happened after Oslo is that people think that we are a free country, but we are still occupied, like you occupied. And it's very frustrating, so I feel that we can share our agony and misery and struggle with each other.
You talk about similarities. Which similarities?
National identity, freedom of movement, freedom to develop according to your needs, not to the needs of the Spanish country. Here, our needs and our development process requires different approaches than Israel. And Israel imposes on us many conditions and obstacles for development, especially importing, exporting, movement of people in and out of the country. We have to go through them and their permission. Access to our resources. They confiscate our land. They confiscate our water. They confiscate our mineral resources and use it for themselves. They forbid us to, and they build a wall forbidding us to go and come on our own land. And of course they claim it as theirs. This is not similar. This is one difference between you and us. They refer to God and say God gave them this land. So it's their religious and ancestral homeland.
Last year you signed the agreement, and today you're going to reinforce it. This step, what is it going to bring to the relationship between two cities?
That's what I want to develop, because unfortunately we've been lazy. We haven't followed up on it. There's been a few visits from people from the Basque country here the past year. 2 visits, I think. But we haven't established anything concrete to follow up. And maybe this time around we can start thinking of ways to develop.
In which direction?
Any direction is good. I know I have no specific direction, but cultural, social, hopefully economic. But I know, resources with us are limited. Resources with Zestoako is limited. Maybe in the future we can have joint economic projects, or that would be nice. But then before that, it's good to establish cultural and political relationships.
Are these neighborhood agreements usual? Are there any more agreements, this kind of agreements between
Bir Zeiteko and other places?
No.
Not beside Bir Zeiteko, no, but with other towns, yes. Other towns have relationships with different cities and towns in Europe and America. The only problem, common problem with these is that once you establish a relationship, people go home and then that's it. There's no follow-up and there's no continuation except when some people come in who are more keen on it or not. We're also a very resource-poor town. Our resources are limited, and we can't afford to hire somebody to follow up on these kinds of agreements and relationships. So I do the job of 3 or 4 people, and most of our employees do the job of 2 or 3 people. We don't have the income or resources to hire more people to develop relationships like these. So I'm thinking of bringing in the civil society, local organizations, like the youth club, to start building a relationship maybe, because they work on a volunteer basis. And I already talked to the youth club, and they're keen on developing a relationship with the youth of Zestoako. So that can be a different path to take instead of put the burden on the municipality.
Okay. You said that after signing the agreement, people go home and forget about it. In this way, though in these days we have been witnesses of the situation of Palestinian people, the hard situation. What can we do in Basque Country to help to change this situation?
Well, every little bit helps. And one of the most important things that can be done is to support the campaign that the BDS campaign, boycott, divest, and sanctions. That would be something important that can be done. Boycott is really good. Boycott Israeli companies. Boycott Spanish companies or Basque companies that do work with Israeli companies, and so forth. That would be very important.
Yeah.
Okay.
And for example, people from